Imagine walking into a room and knowing that when you speak, people don't just hear you. They pay attention. Your words hold weight. Your ideas land. Your presence feels sharp, calm, and confident. Not because you're the loudest person, but because you speak smart. Smart speaking isn't about big words, fancy vocabulary, or sounding intellectual. It's about clarity. It's about control. It's about saying the right thing in the right way at the right moment. The world doesn't remember noise. It remembers meaning. And smart speakers create meaning with every sentence. Think of the people you admire. Leaders, teachers, storytellers, or even that one friend who always knows exactly how to express what everyone else is feeling. They're not magical. They're intentional. They understand the hidden rules of communication, rules that anyone can learn. This guide is your doorway to that power. By the time you finish these chapters, you'll know how to shape your ideas, simplify your message, speak with confidence, and connect with people effortlessly. You'll learn how to pause with purpose, influence with clarity, and communicate with impact. If you're ready to transform the way you speak, not someday, but today, let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Pause. Most people think speaking smart means speaking fast, as if intelligence is measured by how quickly words can spill out of your mouth. But the truth is the opposite. Smart speakers don't rush. They pause. They understand that silence is not empty. It's a strategic tool, a moment of clarity, a space where power gathers. A pause gives your mind a breath. It separates thought from reaction, impulse from intention. When you pause, you're not slowing down the conversation. You're taking control of it. You're telling your brain, think before you speak. Choose before you deliver. That tiny moment can transform confusion into clarity and panic into presence. Think of great speakers, leaders, storytellers, teachers. None of them race through their words. They speak with rhythm, with balance, with space. Their pauses make their message stronger because every sentence lands more deeply. A pause is like a spotlight. It illuminates the words that come next. Before speaking, breathe. Before responding, pause. That single habit instantly makes your voice sound more confident and collected. It shows maturity. It shows emotional control. It shows that your words are intentional, not accidental. Pausing also helps you read the room. In that silent beat, you observe expressions, reactions, energy. You understand what the listener needs: encouragement, clarity, agreement, or sometimes just calmness. Smart speakers adapt, and the pause gives them the time to do so. And here's the secret. Pausing makes people listen. When you stop, even briefly, the listener leans in. It creates anticipation. It signals importance. It says, what comes next matters. Silence is not weakness. It's authority. Anyone can talk non-stop. But speaking with thoughtful pauses, that takes awareness, discipline, and presence. The true marks of smart communication. From now on, whenever a conversation feels fast or overwhelming, slow it down with a simple pause. It's the easiest, most powerful upgrade you can make to your speaking. And once you master it, every word you say will carry more weight, more clarity, and more impact. Chapter 2. Think in clear shapes. Before your words can shine, your thoughts must take shape. Most people speak in scattered fragments, half-formed ideas, rushed sentences, unfinished thoughts. Their minds move in circles, and their words follow the same pattern. But smart speakers understand something crucial. Clarity begins in the mind long before it reaches the mouth. Smart speaking is simply thinking made visible. If your thoughts are messy, your communication will be messy. But if your thoughts are structured, your message becomes powerful, simple, and intelligent. That's why you must learn to think in clear shapes. One of the most effective shapes is this simple three-step flow: point, reason, example. This structure turns any idea, even a complex one, into something clean, logical, and easy for anyone to understand. Let's break it down. 1. Start with the point. This is your core message. Short, direct, strong. It tells the listener exactly what direction you're taking. For example, consistency builds confidence. Just one sentence, and instantly, your listener knows the topic. 2. Then, give the reason. This is where your message gets depth. Why is your point true? What makes it meaningful? A reason shows intelligence and prevents confusion. Because repeating a skill reduces fear and increases control. 3. Finally, add an example. Examples make your message real. They turn abstract ideas into something visual and relatable. Just like learning to drive, the more you practice, the less nervous you feel. Point, reason, example. It's simple, it's sharp, it's smart. When you think in shapes like this, your words become automatically organized. Even if someone interrupts you, even if the conversation jumps, you'll know exactly how to continue. Because your idea has a structure holding it together. This mental shape also helps in heated conversations. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond intelligently. You lay out your point, support it, and ground it in an example. And suddenly, even disagreements feel calmer and more productive. Clear thinking leads to clear speaking. And clear speaking leads to respect, trust, and influence. Master this shape, and people will instantly recognize the sharpness in your communication. Chapter 3. Speak less, mean more. Smart speakers don't win by using more words. They win by using the right words. Most people talk endlessly, hoping quantity will impress. But the smartest speakers know a secret. Impact comes from precision, not volume. When you speak less, every word carries more weight. Your message becomes cleaner. Your listener stays engaged. And your presence feels stronger, sharper, and more controlled. Think of great leaders, great teachers, or great storytellers. They don't flood you with language. They choose their words the way a sculptor chooses tools, intentionally. Every sentence has a purpose. Every pause has meaning. Nothing is wasted. Here's how you speak less, but mean more. 1. Cut the noise. Remove filler words. Like, you know, basically. These don't add meaning. They subtract confidence. When you drop them, your message tightens and your presence grows instantly. 2. Say the core first. Start with the essence, the heart of what you mean. This saves time, prevents confusion, and makes your message sound smarter from the very beginning. Instead of, I was thinking that maybe, if we try, it could be possible to improve our process. Say, we can improve our process. Here's how. Sharp, clean, strong. 3. Use power sentences. A power sentence is short, focused, and memorable. Examples. Clarity wins. Effort beats talent. Consistency creates progress. These lines stick in people's minds long after the conversation ends. 4. Let silence finish the thought. When you pause after a strong sentence, it sinks deeper. Your listener reflects. They follow your message. They take you seriously. Speaking less isn't about withholding information. It's about respecting your listener's attention and delivering value without overwhelm. In a world full of noise, the person who speaks with clarity becomes the person everyone listens to. Because when you speak less, but mean more, your voice cuts through the chaos like a blade. Your words become memorable, your presence becomes powerful, your message becomes impossible to ignore. Chapter 4. Story is your superpower. Facts inform, but stories transform. Anyone can give information, but smart speakers give meaning. And meaning lives inside stories. A story doesn't need to be long. A single moment, a quick snapshot, even a 10-second scene can elevate your message instantly. Share real moments, tiny memories, simple experiences. When you connect your point to a story, people don't just understand you, they feel you. Stories make you memorable because they paint pictures. They make you trustworthy because they show honesty. And they make you relatable because they remind people of themselves. A good story is not about drama. It's about truth. It's about saying, here's what happened, here's what I learned, and here's why it matters. Whether you're giving advice, sharing an idea, or making a point, wrap it in a quick story. It gives your message soul. It gives your words impact. And it gives your voice power. Because facts may touch the mind, but stories touch the mind and the heart. Chapter 5. Ask smart questions. Smart speaking isn't only about talking, it's about guiding the conversation. The right words can inform, persuade, or inspire. But the right questions can do something even more powerful. They create connection, reveal insight, and demonstrate intelligence. Questions aren't just a way to fill silence. They're tools that show awareness, curiosity, and emotional depth. When you ask smart questions, you shift the focus from yourself to the other person, making them feel seen, heard, and understood. Questions like, "What do you think?" or "What led you to that conclusion?" do more than gather information. They invite dialogue. They encourage reflection and honesty. They communicate that you value perspective over ego and insight over assumptions. Smart speakers know that asking questions can be as persuasive as making statements, because questions guide the listener to explore ideas themselves. A well-placed question also builds trust. People instinctively respect those who listen before speaking. When you ask questions, you signal thoughtfulness and intentionality. You show that your words are not reactive, but grounded in understanding. In difficult conversations, smart questions can diffuse tension, open blocked dialogue, and create alignment without confrontation. Questions also enhance clarity. They give your mind and your listener's mind a framework. Can you clarify what you mean by that? Or, what would success look like here? Turns vague conversations into structured, actionable discussions. This skill is invaluable in meetings, interviews, negotiations, or any situation where influence matters. To practice, start by replacing statements with questions. Instead of asserting your opinion immediately, ask a guiding question. Observe the responses, then respond thoughtfully. Keep your questions clear, concise, and intentional. Avoid leading or loaded questions. Aim for curiosity, not control. Mastering the art of asking smart questions transforms ordinary conversations into meaningful exchanges. It elevates your presence, makes you sound more intelligent, and builds authentic connection. Smart speakers don't just talk. They guide, explore, and engage. And that is how questions become a superpower, turning every conversation into an opportunity to connect, influence, and leave a lasting impression. Chapter 6. Emotional Tone. Wins minds. People rarely remember every word you say. What they remember is how you made them feel. That's the power of emotional tone. Smart speakers understand this instinctively. They know that the way you say something can be far more influential than the words themselves. Your voice is not just a vehicle for language. It's your emotional signature, a subtle signal that shapes perception, builds connection, and earns trust. Smart speakers use tone like a tool. They warm their voice when sharing a personal story, calm it when explaining a complex idea, and firm it when setting boundaries or making a decisive point. Each choice communicates intention, confidence, and awareness. A simple sentence like "I'm fine" can be interpreted in countless ways, depending on tone. Flat, it feels distant. Warm, it feels reassuring. Firm, it conveys certainty. Emotional tone transforms ordinary words into messages people feel in their mind and heart. Even small adjustments in pitch, pace, and emphasis can drastically change the impact of your words. A slower, deliberate delivery signals thoughtfulness. A lower, controlled tone communicates authority. A subtle upward inflection invites openness and collaboration. Combined with pauses, these tonal choices create a rhythm that listeners can follow, internalize, and trust. Tone also shapes emotion in others. Calm delivery diffuses tension. Warmth fosters connection. Firmness commands respect. It's contagious. Listeners mirror the energy you project, often before they even process your meaning. That is why your tone can make a conversation persuasive, inspiring, or memorable. To practice, start by recording yourself. Listen for monotone stretches, rushed phrases, or misplaced inflections. Adjust consciously, aligning tone with the intent behind each message. Warmth, calm, and firmness are not accidental. They are deliberate choices that elevate your speech. Master emotional tone, and your words carry weight beyond their literal meaning. You don't just communicate information. You create trust, influence decisions, and leave a lasting impression. Your voice becomes a tool of connection, a signature of intelligence, and a powerful instrument that people will remember long after the conversation ends. Chapter 7. Use the Rule of Three. Our brains love patterns. Triads feel complete, balanced, and easy to remember. That's why the Rule of Three is a secret weapon for smart speakers. Whether you're giving advice, telling a story, or making a point, breaking your message into 3 parts instantly makes it clear, organized, and persuasive. Use simple structures like idea, example, action or past, present, future. Even 3 short words or sentences can create rhythm, clarity, and impact. Think of famous phrases: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Or government of the people, by the people, for the people. They stick because they follow this pattern. Applying the Rule of Three in conversation or presentation makes you sound strategic and intentional. It shows your thoughts have order, your ideas have depth, and your speech has rhythm. People naturally follow your logic without effort. Try it in your next conversation. When making a point, ask yourself, can I break this into 3 key ideas? Then deliver them, one by one, with a pause in between. That pause gives each idea space to land, making your speech sharper and more memorable. Small adjustments, like this simple pattern, separate average speakers from smart ones. The Rule of Three doesn't make your ideas better. It makes them easier to understand, more persuasive, and impossible to forget. Chapter 8. Speak with confidence, not volume. Confidence is the invisible thread that makes words powerful. Smart speakers don't rely on loudness to get attention. They anchor themselves in presence. Their voice is steady, grounded, and assured, even when quiet. It's not volume that commands respect. It's conviction. People don't just hear confident speakers, they feel them. Confidence starts before a word leaves your mouth. It begins with posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, head up. A body that looks certain sends a clear signal. Your words are worth listening to. Eye contact reinforces this. When you look at people as you speak, it tells them you're fully present, fully engaged, and fully aware. Your confidence becomes contagious. Pacing matters just as much as posture. Rushing through sentences screams insecurity. Smart speakers slow down, giving their words space to breathe. Each sentence lands fully. Each point resonates. Each pause builds anticipation. Silence isn't empty. It's a tool. Use it to punctuate your message. Let your audience reflect, and increase the weight of your words. Confidence also comes from preparation and practice. Even when nerves arise, a speaker who has rehearsed knows the structure, the flow, and the key points. They speak with intention, not fear. And when your intention is clear, people instinctively believe in your message, because your voice mirrors your certainty. Watch how leaders handle themselves. They don't shout over a room. They speak with authority that demands attention naturally. Their confidence doesn't intimidate. It inspires. That's the secret. Confidence is not arrogance. It's presence, self-assurance, and alignment between mind, body, and voice. To build this confidence, start small. Practice speaking aloud, even to yourself. Record short messages. Notice your posture. Refine your pace. And watch how your tone changes when your body speaks with certainty. Small repetitions strengthen the habit until confidence becomes natural. When you combine posture, pacing, eye contact, and calm assurance, you don't need volume to be heard. People listen because you speak from authority and clarity. Your words gain gravity, your presence becomes memorable, and your communication transforms from ordinary to unstoppable. Chapter 9. Respond, don't react. Most people speak from emotion. When someone challenges them, interrupts, or surprises them, their first instinct is often to react. Words fly out before thought can catch up. Reactions are impulsive, unpredictable, and rarely constructive. They may express frustration, anger, or defensiveness, but they rarely earn respect or influence. Smart speakers know the difference between reacting and responding, and they use that distinction as a secret weapon in every conversation. Smart speakers speak from awareness, not impulse. Before answering, they pause, breathe, and ask themselves a simple but powerful question. Am I reacting or responding? That tiny moment of self-reflection creates space for clarity, control, and intentionality. A response is thoughtful. A reaction is impulsive. A response moves the conversation forward. A reaction risks derailing it. By mastering this skill, you control not just your words, but the entire interaction. Think about it. In a heated meeting, two people disagree. One reacts, their voice rises, they interrupt, and emotion takes over. The other responds, calm, structured, measured. They acknowledge the concern, clarify their point, and guide the conversation toward resolution. Which approach earns trust? Which approach gets results? The answer is clear. The response wins every time. Responding doesn't mean being passive or avoiding conflict. It means observing, processing, and choosing words that serve your purpose. It means holding your composure, even when pressure mounts. It means letting your intelligence and emotional awareness shine through rather than letting anger, fear, or frustration dictate your voice. Practicing this skill transforms communication. Conversations become more productive, negotiations more effective, and relationships more meaningful. People listen to you because your words feel intentional, measured, and fair. They respect your voice because it reflects control, wisdom, and authenticity. Master the art of responding, not reacting, and you will master your conversations. Every word will carry weight. Every sentence will create influence, and your presence will radiate calm authority. In the world of communication, this distinction separates ordinary speakers from truly smart ones. Chapter 10. Close with Impact. The last sentence you speak is the one people remember the most. It lingers long after the conversation ends. That's why smart speakers never fade out quietly. They finish with force. They close with purpose. Every message, every point, every speech deserves a strong ending. A powerful closing is not just decoration. It's the crown of your communication, the moment that leaves a lasting impression. There are several ways to close with impact. You can summarize your key points, giving clarity to the listener. A concise wrap-up reinforces understanding and makes your message stick. For example, to succeed, we must plan deliberately, act consistently, and adapt intelligently. 3 simple points, cleanly stated and instantly memorable. You can also end with a question. A well-chosen question invites reflection and engagement, making your listener part of the conversation. It transforms your speech from a monologue into a dialogue. For instance, what small step could you take today that moves you closer to your goal? That question echoes in the listener's mind long after you've finished speaking. A call to action is another powerful way to close. Encourage movement, decision, or commitment. It doesn't have to be complicated. Simple, clear, actionable steps make your words practical and influential. Try this approach in your next meeting and notice the difference it makes is enough to turn ideas into results. Even a clear decision or statement can serve as an impactful close. Smart speakers deliver a confident, decisive line that leaves no ambiguity. This is the path forward, or we will take this step together, signals authority and clarity. The key is intention. Don't let your last words drift. Craft them with care. Pause before saying them. Emphasize the message. Let it land. When your closing is strong, it reinforces everything you've said, strengthens your credibility, and makes your communication unforgettable. Smart speakers understand that endings are everything. They don't just deliver information, they leave a mark. They speak so the listener remembers, reflects, and acts. Your last sentence is your lasting influence. Use it wisely. Finish with clarity, confidence, and impact, because the echo of your words is where true power lies.